Welcome to Let's Talk Early Years. In this episode with me today, a friend, a mentor, a coach, a stalwart in the early years community in the GCC region. Welcome, Sari Saliba.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm honest. Like I said and mentioned earlier, that anytime we talk early years, I'm there. I'm happy to discuss early years anytime.
I know that. You were at Jess. You were just representing us so well there. Thank you.
I hope so.
I absolutely believe so, Sari. Thank you. Sari, I know who you are, but tell our audience, who is Sari Saliba?
Okay, so me, Sari Saliba from Finland, and been here for 13 years, and been in early years about 10 years in a leadership position. Recently started a new job, general manager of Hey Early Learning Centers, which is a new format coming from Finland, providing the quality early years education in UAE. So that is in a nutshell my professional background. Other than that, there's so much that you will need 5 hours.
Oh, there's so much even to your professional career that you could be sharing with us. I know you from way back when you were coming out to the Al Ain region to come and do coaching and mentoring with me.
True.
And phenomenal journey you've had.
It has been phenomenal because I never ever thought that I would work in early years, if I'm honest.
I believe you have a medical background. If I remember, you have a medical background.
I have a medical and social services background. So I always was passionate about children. Mm-hmm. So definitely I was thinking of working with children, and back home I was working as a preventive child protection work. But then when I came to UAE, I felt that, okay, I want to work with children, but what are the options here? Mm-hmm. And I kind of accidentally landed into the nursery as a supply teacher first, and then later on they asked me, can I be the manager? This is like, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And since then I was just like wanting more and understand more on the education point of view, the child development and cognitive way of learning and all this. So I'm happy that I actually ever started that journey.
Sari, I think the early years community is happy that you've accidentally stumbled upon this career. Yeah, you've been a wonderful influence and a wonderful, just in the background, profound influence in creating the standards and setting the standards in the big groups and then filtering that down into other early years centers. So you've been here a long time. What are some of the changes you've seen for the better in the early years industry?
I was going to say that for the better. I am very happy to see that across all the curriculums at the moment, the play-based learning is now understood fully. Yeah. I don't think that initially 10 years ago, even I feel EYFS that time was very rigid in terms of academics and setting the benchmarks in a way that child needs to be, it was like a 6 month gap. Right. And you're supposed to, in 6 months, you're supposed to reach these milestones and objectives. Yes. And we all remember how the statutory framework looked like. Yes. And luckily 2020, 2021, when they started changing the framework, and when you now look into it, it's more flexible in the understanding that 0 to 3. And then you can start looking for maybe more segregative objectives throughout the years. Right. But this is across all the curriculums, which I am really happy. So I would say that the parents find it, and parents also being educated about it.
Absolutely.
More. And I can see that the demand from the parents' side is also to look into these type of curriculums.
Yes. I think it's something that's perhaps a positive and can be a challenge for us is the knowledge and the education of the parents out there. Yeah, because they have a lot of unfiltered information coming to them, and so the demand on the early years leader is that much higher. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. Fully agree with you. And the backgrounds, and I think we face it here in UAE more than anywhere else, where we do have different cultures and different educational backgrounds. Yes. We are all here in this melting pot. and demands are different. I mean, if you are coming from India, you are coming from Finland, for example, we are
polar opposites.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and it's actually interesting at the same time.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
we are unique here,
Yes.
the whole country.
Yeah, I spoke with Lara Hudson about this previously, Sari, and we spoke about exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
That for those of us, whether we educators, whether we leaders, whether we parents, the opportunity to really learn and gain valuable insights from the niche position that we find ourselves in is almost limitless.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think even for the academics, writing academic papers, there's just so much that could come out of what we're currently experiencing in the UAE and across the world, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if you think about, like, let's talk about European countries. They are struggling, for example, multiculturalism, how to include all the children who are coming to their countries, how to teach the languages when you are not familiar with the languages. Here it's like evident, we are doing it naturally.
Yes.
I was not even able to reply to people or answer people who were asking me that, oh, what should we do in terms of incorporating different languages to the curriculum? And I'm like, well,
Is
just
it a
talk.
thing? Yeah.
Just speak. Yes. You play with them using
Yes.
whatever language, your
Yes.
mother tongue or the foreign language.
Yes.
So, but here it's very evident.
It's
and
almost
it is,
obvious.
Yes, and required as
Yes,
well, and demanded by the
absolutely.
parents,
Yes.
which is great because it is good to support the mother tongue of the children as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so those are the positives. What are the gaps? What are the gaping holes?
Well, probably the opposite side of the same, that when the awareness of the parents is coming, the list of Google demands when they go and Google certain things are coming more.
Yeah.
It is also very difficult to meet all the expectations the parents might have in terms of play-based learning or any other type of learning. I think that's one. And then for me, it's the modern world, social media, the digital world, which is kind of on the face of the children at all times. And again, it is kind of a part of the early childhood at the moment. And yet, in a way, it shouldn't be in that like magnitude as it is at the moment. So probably these are the changes, not maybe related fully on the early years, but the childhood.
How do you think we can sort of create that balance, Sari, particularly reflecting on technology and social media? In the early years, how do you see that? How do you see us navigating that?
Well, if we are talking purely about the child's access to social media or digital gadgets and so on and so forth, for me, in early years, we shouldn't have any iPad or screen time at all.
Tell me why.
It's not developmentally good for the child to experience the world, which is so two-dimensional.
Yeah.
They need to be having that full 5 senses. This is the only way they learn. And when we are at that age, and I'm talking below 5 years old, at that age, the brain is evolving every day. Yeah. We all know that. I mean, that's a common knowledge at the moment. So nobody can say that it's not true. It's true. During those 5 years, when your child, my child, is developing their brain, why are we destroying it by just having very two-dimensional, limited exposure to the world? Having like they said, this is a marketing technique, by the way, saying educational programs. There is no such thing. I'm sorry. I'm probably very black and white.
Say that again.
Yes. Educational programs is a selling point for the parents to buy that application. Yeah. And teaching apple on a gadget, why don't you take the apple and say this is apple?
Yes.
And languages and everything
and
else.
Phonetic sounds, and they see the intonation while you're talking to them. Exactly.
And for me, like, okay, if you want, I'm going back with my thought. The fact is also that the modern world is changing in a way that the parents most likely do not always have that network or the support they want, they need it from their parents, for example, their siblings living here and so on and so forth, that sometimes you are very alone with your child.
Yes, that village doesn't exist as it would if you were not an expatriate.
Exactly, and then if you need like a 30 minutes that you do other things rather than be with the child, I do understand that you give an iPad, and I've done that. It's not that I haven't done that.
Right.
But the fact that if you think that it's good for the child to learn the modern technology through using that, that's not correct. The way to learn technology for the future is actually very manual things that the children need to do. They need to touch, they need to test, they need to explore, like give them a old phone, landline, let them play with it, understand how it functions. This is how we teach the technology.
I think we need to give teenagers and the 20-somethings those old phones as well. Do those even still exist, Sari?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Cassette player. Figure it out. Yes. How do you get this?
There you go.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're saying that with the improvements in the landscape of early years education, technology can be a godsend, and absolutely it can pose a tremendous challenge to how our children are learning.
For me, the technology is for us adults to understand and learn. First of all, have the information available quicker about the child development. I Google every day.
Fantastic.
And look for the information, look for research, so that it's available for us to support the children.
Yes.
And of course, as a nursery operations, having that back office system, it's very important.
Yeah.
Another point from here is the social media and the how important is social media at the moment, and we all see it in the nurseries, that parents are used to use social media all the time, every second of their lives, right? I'm exaggerating here, by the way, all the time, so take half of it always away. So when the parents are so engaged in social media, they are requesting and requiring us to send pictures of their children every second of the day.
Yes, I find that so intrusive, actually.
Yes.
Intrusive on their learning, intrusive in how they think, when we're constantly around them and interrupting their play with the screen, with this camera.
And why? My question to the parents is why? Why do you need to have your child to pose for a pictures for you to see it at home or show to your relatives when it is so much more important, as you said, not to be interrupted on that learning journey and the process what the children are having on the ground in the nursery and at home.
Yeah.
Like I go to the park with my child and I take pictures of my child being in the park. I'm not with the child that time. I'm behind the camera.
Yes.
And this is not a proper
connection. There's no connection. Yes. And the value of the moment is lost.
Yeah, it's lost.
The value even of your relationship is lost, because where you could have used that opportunity to create that bond and that play, you're now standing on a screen and trying to evidence something that really isn't happening, perhaps.
And it's not happening because you don't have that interaction. You are not communicating with your child.
That is so profound, Sari.
Yes, and I feel sad about it, because another thing, we do see in the social media all adults saying the same thing, that how fake is that social media context. I am showing the best part of my life. I'm in Persian, Arab, or wherever, having a drink or whatever.
Yes.
And at the same time, we are teaching the children the same. That this is the value of your life.
Yes.
This is the most important, is to showcase how successful you are, how beautiful you are, what we are doing, and not that you are digging the ants from the ground and looking and studying those together.
Yes. Yes. Sari, I have to reflect on this. This is so profound what you're saying, because I do remember seeing that when the teams approach the children with the iPads in the nursery, to evidence the learning, that the children would stop and actually pose.
They do pose. And I know I would pose. It's the same thing. Of course, I want to look good if somebody's taking a picture of me, and they are so used to it because it has been happened since they were born.
Yes.
And again, I always talk to the parents, I talk to my teams on the ground that we need to, I am happy that we send like evidence of the progress, evidence of the success story of that child's learning and how beautifully they are developing and improving. But it can be one picture per week, it can be when something significant happens. Why do I need to showcase something that is already, it's done? We are not sure, we need to see the journey of the child. So we can show that, okay, this time of the year, 1 year ago, your child was able to scribble 1, 2, 3. And then now we are doing something completely different. Look how amazing she is at the moment.
Yes.
But that's it, not every minute, not every second.
How well received would this be with the parents, Sari? Remember, we are catering to the needs predominantly also of the parent.
For sure.
So how well received do you think this would be?
I think it's a part of that, the next education we do need to do for the parents. I'm sure that there is parents who want to see every second. It's also the worry. I mean, it's the concern that when I put my 2-year-old to the nursery, of course I want to see her smiling every day. So you want to see that. And I actually fully understand that during settling period, for example, that yes, I will send, and we do, send pictures every day showing that, hey, she's not crying, she's okay, she's eating, and so on and so forth. But then there needs to be some sort of a limit for that. That when you see your child is fine, everything is okay, then you need to trust the team. And then we will, and again, I need to go back in with my thoughts now, is that in a school, they are not sending everyday pictures.
Absolutely.
Year 1, you don't get any pictures anymore. They will tell you that, she was a little bit upset today. That's it.
So do you think we've created the demand as earlier years settings? We've created the demand. We've opened up the gap to parents to have this expectation in our desire to be more marketable.
You've been working on there for long enough that I think it's obviously, I think in early years in general, which is great, we have that profound understanding that we are not successful without the partnership with the parents.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, this is so embedded into our whatever we do. So maybe we are like thinking that, okay, having that partnership means that 100% catering and services, whereas we should maybe think that, okay, in a partnership, we also need to tell that this is not really beneficial for your child. Even though you love it, you want it, but this is not beneficial for the child at the moment.
I'm hearing you say that as leaders and as early years teams, to truly value the integrity of our relationship with the parents as our partners, that we need to have open and honest conversations with them. And actually, I want to take that a step further and say we're responsible for re-educating our parents and informing our parents that, yes, like you were saying, I do believe that this could be valuable to you. This could make your day to see this beautiful picture. But can I say to you, you know, that the benefits of me being the teacher, being fully focused on the children and engaged in their learning and play could be ultimately more beneficial to your child.
Exactly. And how many years we've been doing this? Only few. Like, who took pictures of me when I was in a nursery? Nobody cared.
Ever, Sari. The camera was such a major. I think the camera came out at Christmas times or birthdays because it was so expensive to have that little film developed, right?
Yeah. So while the mindset has changed, and it's not like it's not like 20 years even. It's not 10 years even. It's like basically, if even 10 years, I don't even if 10 years, that this demand to be all the time there, all the time having the pictures or videos taken, is not a old thing, it's a new thing.
So we can re-educate ourselves and our parents.
Exactly,
Other gaping holes you see that perhaps we could be changing, could be working on, Sari?
As industry in generally, I do feel that we need to find every center, every nursery, the inner core of the individuality and the kind of a uniqueness.
I find that very profound because you've been at the helm of one of possibly the biggest nursery groups in the UAE.
Yeah.
I find this very profound that you're saying that we could and we should develop our own authenticity in each individual setting, irrespective of whether we're a standalone nursery or whether we belong to a bigger group of schools.
Absolutely.
How do we find that voice?
I give it to you. I don't know. I honestly don't. I like in my previous position, I always told my teams, my center directors, like, do you. Whatever you do in the nursery, do you, and ask your teachers to do the same.
Yeah.
I rather see the spirit of trying something different, and they can sleep and try, and then maybe fail. Fine, but at least
bring
think
authenticity.
And think out of the box.
Yes.
And bring something new and make it look like you. Yeah. What is your inner values of early years education?
I think, again, but reflecting on what we just spoke about, about social media, I think a lot of us are out there looking at Pinterest, and looking at these beautiful tough trays and these beautiful settings. And, we're looking at the Finnish nursery schools and we're looking at Montessori. And there's so much information coming our way and we want to look like. We want to look like that beautiful, shiny nursery setting on Instagram, on social media. Yeah, and so our voice is getting filtered. Our authenticity is being lost in that. So how do we find that back? Sari.
Again, looking for it. The thing is, like, I feel that there's so much of replicating what we see in the social media.
Yes.
So if you talk about the competition in this region, there is a lot of competition, but what benefit there is if we try to repeat what the next one is doing, or we are trying to duplicate the same offering if we are not, as you said, going back to our own core and you'll find the uniqueness. I think, again, yes, curriculum obviously is one of the unique points. However, I would say that all the early years curriculums, they have a lot of similarities as well.
True.
There's no like a one or two which I would be completely opposite.
Yeah.
There's always something that is interlinking and overlapping for sure. So it's not anymore the selling point to have that certain curriculum for sure. So that's why, again, I would just look into my team, what my teachers will bring to my setting. Teachers' education and teachers' own professional development is very, very important. Everybody agrees on this one.
Sari, I'm going to be probably not very well liked for this statement, but at the moment, I certainly can attest to the fact that we are extremely challenged in terms of educators.
Yeah,
I do believe that COVID has hit us with an extreme brain drain. A lot of our educators in the early years particularly have gone into the bigger schools. They have a wonderful package. They have their holidays off, etc. I don't want to sell that too much in case we lose many more educators, but they have. They've gone or they've gone home. And now we're sitting with somebody who, and this is not everybody, I'm saying a very big part of somebody who collected the cash level 3 certificate yesterday and is coming for an interview today, has only just the certificate but is demanding a salary that is quite exorbitant. And so we need to train this person in the job. Next week, another group offers this person an even better salary, and off they go. And so how are we going to muster the energy, Sari, to collaborate those teams, to bring those teams, to bring that professional? Help us.
Again, for me, I might now refer to Finland, and I might refer to even my current job in Hey Early Learning Centers as I said, the training of the teachers, not only the qualification, but a continuous CPD
professional development
should be coming like naturally from the employer, first of all, to give that opportunity. Because it is definitely also the truth that not everybody is only looking for the higher salary. They are also looking for where I can develop
And
professionally
grow.
and
Absolutely.
grow
Yes.
and find opportunities even within my setting or within the company. And providing professional development opportunities is definitely one, how you retain and how you attract the teachers. And another thing is, like I said, give free hands to the teachers. Do your miracles in the classroom. That's again sorry, I'm referring to Finland again, Finnish way of thinking
Leadership,
and education that
Yeah.
they are not, nobody is micromanaging the teachers, what they do. We trust their qualification and understanding and knowledge and expertise in education. So we need to trust the teachers to do the thing in the nursery, in the classroom. Give more freedom.
Yes.
Because I don't personally, none of us will work very well if you are put in a box.
Absolutely.
And you will be
particularly not in early years.
Yeah, no. And because today you have to run 1, 2, 3, this is what you are supposed to do, this is your objectives, this is your lesson plan, today you sing this song, and yeah, hopefully not anymore that level, but still. So give more free, trust the teachers more.
Yes.
When you feel trusted, you feel appreciated, and you will remain in the same place.
I think there's a fine line, though, between, for example, as I mentioned previously, the inexperienced educator and your more accomplished educator, who they are fewer and fewer, as I've mentioned, you know. So for perhaps the leader to trust the innovation and the capability, I think leaders perhaps are struggling in that area, you know, because again, Sari, we'll reflect back to we're running businesses.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, none of the early years settings that we're working in currently are NGOs. You know what I'm saying? So we're running businesses, and so that is always at the forefront of the leader's thinking, you know, or perhaps in the back of the mind of the leader.
Yeah,
that I need to maintain the quality and the integrity of the business, and so I need to retain my parents, and that means I need to retain the quality or my perception or my understanding of quality teaching and learning. And so I'm trying to manage.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I disagree.
Tell me.
Yeah, because I still feel that if, as a person, I remember my great teachers, and my great teachers when I was a child were the ones who were happy and who were interactive and so on and so forth. The parents do also see the same. If the teachers are happy at their work, the parents are more likely to be happy as well.
Yeah.
And I get you and I hear you. It's not that, okay, go freely and do whatever and there's a chaos. But give it a shot, give it a try.
Yeah.
Tell the teacher, even if it was a fresh graduate, maybe they have even fresh ideas.
Yes.
So that tell them that, hey, show me, what could we do? Today is a day that, okay, children are a little bit restless. Show me something, let's do an activity, let's do something. So give it like a chance for them to prove themselves. Like I said, I always tell the teams, rather give it a try, rather give it a go. If it fails, it fails. It's fine.
It's a lesson learned. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Sorry, we were speaking, you touched briefly on marketing tools that we're using. So again, navigating the ever-changing landscape of early years education. What would be your 3 things for us to stand out as a school of excellence?
Wow. If I knew that, I think I would be pretty rich having all the marketing
One thing,
tools.
sorry, give us a hint. What is a standout school?
Standout school for me which is having that uniqueness. One USP that is completely different than any others. I do see a lot of these duplicated nurseries and schools and repeating the same offering, the same speech.
Yes.
If you think about the commercial marketing speech,
Yes.
I can see now there is the play-based, child-centered learning. few years back it was not that much because it was more about like school readiness or being able to read and sing and do the math by age of 2.
Yes.
But now it's kind of a lesson learned. Okay, now we need to talk about being child-centered, play-based. So even the speech is very much of duplication of others, and commercially or as a marketing tool, parents do see that, okay, everyone is promising the same thing.
Yeah.
Who will stand out
Yes.
is the ones who are unique in terms of offering, and then who can use the marketing tools, social media, innovate to capture that uniqueness,
Right.
and not to have the repetition of the same speech.
Right. I'm seeing you speak about innovation. I'm seeing you saying that as leaders and as educators that we need to be innovative, yeah, and so we need to be constantly learning, constantly growing, yeah?
For sure.
What are you reading, Sari? Tell us, what are you reading?
Social media.
Is that no, you're not. You're hard to find on social media. You're on LinkedIn, professional.
Yeah,
but
no.
other than that, what can we be reading?
I actually don't read a lot.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I kind of I look honestly from the internet. I get if you see a quote or something about somebody else saying a research, even on the LinkedIn on earliest pages and so on and so forth. I look for the research itself, and but I don't read the whole research. I go through the points like quickly,
Yes.
where
And you reflect back to that,
Okay, no,
how
okay,
it's
yeah,
relevant.
it is saying that 1, 2, 3,
Right.
and so for me, it's kind of finding the information from the internet because it's easy.
Yes.
That's
It's
a tool,
accessible.
yes, and that's the technical tool, and what I want to use to find the reason behind even my own ideas. Sometimes I'm thinking that, okay, my, for example, belief is that I don't want the children to use gadgets. I'm telling it very strongly here.
Yes.
And then because I'm strongly saying that I think that below 5 you shouldn't be using it at all, I go and look for the research, and yes, there's mentions about that. It's very worrying
Yeah.
because, for example, we don't have enough data about the impact yet.
Yes. Yes.
So
even that is worrying.
yeah,
Even
so
that
for
in
me,
itself.
yeah, so I don't have a book I go to. I don't have even a certain research I go to. It's just
Right.
that overall information. And to be honest, I learn the best from colleagues and people brainstorming together. I love being influenced by my colleagues and by whoever I meet.
Collaboration.
Yes, because if honestly, you learn the best, you go and discuss with the teacher every single time you learn something.
Yes.
So that's probably the way I learn.
I love that. I love that. I again spoke previously on another episode about our community having come a long way, and I'm sure you will agree. We've come a long way in terms of collaboration, but I think we've still got miles to go in having those professional discussions, and I hope that my podcast is one of those spaces, you know, where we can bring someone like yourself and have those open, honest, candid conversations and give access to not only the early years leaders who are perhaps inadvertently meeting you at guests or something like, or a leadership breakfast or anything like that, but to give the rest of the teams access. You know, I believe those conversations are so profound. In fact, I think they're so important, Sari, for us as a community to know what is the pulse. You know, you said it so aptly earlier that these buzzwords, you know, they come and they go, and this approach keeps coming and going, but what are your values as a setting? You know, what is your curriculum? Your curriculum is underpinned by what your values are, you know, and so how are you collaborating with your team to grow that and to bring that, as you said, that authenticity and that stand out ability of your early years setting, yeah?
And I think, and I hope not, that since there is more and more competition, we definitely see that. I mean, the industry has grown so much in the past 10 years. And we have a lot of different type of players on the ground. So I just hope that we could continue or at least build that trust of brainstorming together
Yes.
of different things, and not to try to, oh no, this is the information I don't want to share with you because I will use this one as a unique point in my nursery.
Yes.
Whereas I rather see us brainstorming and sharing those values, but we don't have to imitate each other's,
Yes.
but we will learn from those values
Absolutely.
and discussions.
So growing that community, that collaborative community of professionals and thinkers and diverse thinkers.
Yeah.
Someone spoke about you to me previously and they said, I like the way Sari thinks. She always approaches it with a different eye.
I don't know who said that.
That's a good compliment, right?
Oh, that's brilliant. No, I love it. I actually always tell my colleagues and my teams that I like to think out loud. It's not that's why I need to always go back in my my speech. It's not always like anything comes out from my mouth is not my 100% opinion necessarily.
Right.
I kind of throw it out there. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, now it's
and then
my
you
opinion.
can reframe
Yes.
it. Yes,
and now it's my
I like
opinion.
that. Okay.
Or I might say that, okay, no, it's not. Actually, let's think about it from different angles.
Yes, yes. Sari, what is your anticipation, changes that you see coming in the early years industry?
I feel, and I think we are, funny enough, I just mentioned about the gadgets and social media and how I don't like that it has such an impact. But at the same time, I think it's kind of fluctuating always. We were so much more academically driven 10 years ago,
Yes.
like when even the coloring the pictures were as if it is an academic approach for the child, or it was ridiculous, I must say. I feel that the parents and the educators are definitely going back to their own roots. And I feel like we are becoming more and more grounded, rooted. Back to the reality, how the children actually are learning is that we let them learn. And we have to stop stop the stopping. So we are stopping the children learning when we are trying as adults to teach them too much and too early.
Oh, that is profound.
So I feel like in a certain way, because we are talking about play-based learning and child-centered learning and in the moment planning and this kind of more back to that old way of learning,
Yes.
that this is going to be the new trend, that we understand as educators and as parents that if you are talking about the child below 4 years old, she will learn anyway, even if you don't teach her.
Yes.
Because she will be just learning by going and exploring around.
Yes, you
It's
create those opportunities for learning. Yes.
That we just need to enable it. We need to
Yes.
have an environment which is also another thing which we have to maybe change is not too safe. We are bubble wrapping.
That's a conversation for another day, yes?
I will come and talk anytime. No, exactly. So the children need to learn how to take risks. I mean, we obviously don't risk ever the safety of the children, but they need to learn how to take risks and not to be upset if they have a minor accident or they bump their knee or whatsoever,
Yes.
because now we are going towards as if it is a disaster
Yes.
that my child fell.
Yeah, we're almost too available
Yeah.
to their needs.
Yeah.
I agree. And so
Yeah.
I think we almost inhibit their creativity and we inhibit their personal growth and their resilience.
Risk-taking and exploring
Yes,
and
I agree.
creativity and imagination and everything will be prohibited if you are not allowed to take the risk.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just sit and do nothing in a fear of something happens, you will never learn anything.
Nothing's going to be accomplished.
But again, I'm saying, I feel like we are kind of finally on that level as well, but as well as the teaching or the learning of the child, going back to our own roots. What did I do when I was a child?
Yes.
When I was below 4
In
years
the
old.
olden days.
Yes, those beautiful days. I wish they were back. No, that again, just allow your child to learn by exploring the environment, and even inside the house, they are learning every day something.
Yeah.
Every day.
Sari, that's beautiful. Last thoughts, last words for our
Oh,
audience.
is it the last thoughts already?
Yes.
What should I say? Do I have anything intelligent to say in the end? first of all, I appreciate it for you to invite me here. I just hope that the sector, earlier sector, the whole industry is, again, finding their own unique voice. I do hope that we sincerely keep the children in the core. We do have the parent partnership, for sure. We have to. Our children don't grow without having the parents together, teaching them and growing together. But that we always remember that the only person that we are actually catering for is the child. And it is business, I agree. But at the same time, it is our passion. It's not that it's only the business.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Sari, it has been my phenomenal pleasure to see you, to chat with you again, always
Likewise.
Inspired by what you're doing. Where can our audience find you?
My audience come.
Where can my audience find you? Can we find you on LinkedIn?
Yes, you do. Find me in
Okay,
LinkedIn.
you're sharing some insights there on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, basically, if I'm on social media, it's LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. Sari, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed you coming here, and really, it's been such a wonderful journey. I mean, I've known you for so many years.
Yeah, true.
And I've learned so much from you, and I'm so
Thank
grateful to be always just to pop you a message and ask for your valuable insight. I know it's not a privilege everybody has, but I am grateful for it. So
Thank you.
thank you, Sari.